Catch a wave and you're sitting on top of the world. Hey, you caught me surfing. This is a surfboard that I actually got after I mowed a guy's lawn. Instead of paying me, he gave me his surfboard, and this was personally made for him. I myself have actually been hanging 10, and if you take a look at my feet, don't look too close at the toenails, but this is what hanging 10 is. 10 toes off the side of the surfboard. Yeah. Anyway, if you haven't guessed by now, today we're going to be working on Wipeout, which is a good old surf tune and was really popular and really brought forth what we know now as surf rock. And I think you're really going to enjoy getting to know this piece. Today we're going to focus on 43 to the end, which is actually the same thing as the beginning, with just a few bars added. So if you know 43 to the end, you're going to know the beginning. A little bit of history about surf music. It was popular in the early 1960s, but actually started in the 1950s. There's two kinds of surf rock. Instrumental surf, which is what this was, purely instrumental. And then there was vocal surf. And if you look at lesson 4 down the road, you'll find out some groups that did some vocal surf music. Part of what made the surf sound was the electric instruments that were used. Really heavy and electric guitars. Also had some saxophones and some electric pianos. And those instruments really helped create kind of the wave sound, which made it sound like you were actually riding the waves on a surfboard. Some interesting things before we get into the piece. In measure 2, flutes and trumpets, you're going to want to watch for your key signature note, and I'll make sure and point that out when I play it. In measure 3, all of us want to look out for the last note. There's a crescendo from the beginning that we're going to keep getting louder. Keep getting louder until the very last. Okay? The note in measure 4 for clarinet and alto, we want to look for that. This first part is really heavily percussion focused. So percussion, you're going to want to bring your sounds out. We also want to watch out for naturals and sharps, and you want to pay attention to the difference between those two because they make a really big change in sound. And that's especially apparent in measure 46. Okay, so what I'm going to demonstrate for you is the part from 43 to the end. And we're going to start with the percussion part. So percussionists, get ready. We're going to look at the snare part in particular. This snare part, maybe not at the beginning, but toward the middle is what really made this version of Wipeout really popular, the one made by the Surfaris. Okay, here is 43 for the snare. 2, 3. Pretty cool. A lot of neat rhythms in there, and if we can get those all to line up, oh, it's going to be just amazing. Bass drums. Here's your part. 2, 2, 4, 2. Awesome. Moving right on down the line. Here's the quad or quint part. Boom, 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 boom. Dee 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 do dee do dee do dee. 2. Boom, boom, boom. Beep, boom, 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 boom. Da 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 those last 4 will be on the rim. Cymbals, pretty straightforward here. Crash, 2, 3, 4. Crash, 2, 3, 4. Crash, 2, 3, 4. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Crash, 2, 3, 4. And let those ring all the way. As I said, the percussion part here, 43 to the end, is really important. So you want to make sure that you get to know that part really, really well. Okay, most of the rest of us are going to be holding out some long notes here, and the chords are going to be really important. So make sure you're paying close attention to the notes. Our key signature, flutes, has 1 flat, so that means our second note, E, is going to be thumb, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then the pinky. Leave that ring finger up. Okay, E natural. Make sure we're getting the E natural. There's also some high notes here. In measure 46, we have E flat, which you should know, but then we have high E natural. Thumb, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then pinky. Okay, and then high F. Thumb, 1, 3, and then 1, and pinky. Okay, and that's your high F. I'm going to do my best to play this. Here's 43. A little fudging, slowing down there on my part, but I know you will be able to make that work better with a little practice. Okay, here's the clarinet part. Clarinets, we want to watch for in measure 45. We have a high F sharp. Thumb with register, 1, 2, 3, middle. Okay, make sure you're doing that F sharp. But in that same measure, then we'll also be going back to F natural. So pay attention to that natural. Okay, here's 43. Yeah. And we're going to move on to the trumpet part here, which is kind of similar. Okay, trumpets, here you go. And you can also take that an octave down if you're playing first trumpet, and that will be just fine. Here's the alto part. I bet you guys can probably imagine what a wipeout is in surfing. It's when you get flipped off your board and just completely get totally, at least for me, this actually happened to me. I was surfing, I had just caught a wave, it was magical, and then I got thrown into the shore and wave after wave kept hitting me. And I would call that a wipeout. Okay, here's the alto saxophone part. Sounds like the horn part, measure 43. We want to pay close attention to when we're doing C natural and C sharp. Look, Mom, no fingers. All right. From there, we are moving on to the trombone part. This one, I will admit, is a little tricky. Okay, here's the trombone part. 2, 3, 4. Kind of cool. Anything we need to watch out for? Yes, in measure 45, we'll be going from A flat, third position, okay, to A natural, and then back up to the B flat that we know. right, and moving on. Here's the tenor part, similar to the trombone, but just a little bit different note-wise. 2, 3, 4. A little bit of a harmony part with the trombone in that last measure, which sounds really cool when we make that work. And finally, we have the tuba part, which I'll play on my handy-dandy professional bass clarinet. All right, here we go. Excuse me. Yeah, so cool. Really honking out those bass notes there. A lot of fun. All right, guys. Hope you hang loose while you practice this one. A lot of great music in this, and it's going to be really fun to play. Stay healthy, wash those hands, and happy music making.